Hey guys, and welcome back to the third episode of Death Row Executions. So in my last two videos, the men who I talked about that were executed clearly had rough lives growing up, family issues, drug issues, and more. Both also showed clear signs at an early age of being very disturbed. Today's story is on John David Battaglia Jr., and he had the complete opposite upbringing, but still managed to commit a heinous crime that landed him on death row and ultimately executed. John David Battaglia Jr. was born on August 2nd, 1955 on a military base in Alabama. His father was a military man, so the family did have to move quite a bit. Battaglia's father was last stationed in Germany, but after leaving the military in 1970, he moved his family back to Dumont, New Jersey. Battaglia graduated from Dumont High School and then attended Fairleigh Dickinson University, majoring in accounting. Things seemed to be going well for Battaglia, but he actually dropped out of college due to peer pressure from a friend. I'm pretty sure that this friend was from the wrong crowd because Battaglia eventually got in trouble with the law for using illegal drugs. After that small troubling point in his life, he decided to join the Marines and eventually became a sergeant. After serving as a sergeant, he left the Marines to become an accountant and moved to Dallas, Texas to be close to his father. He actually modeled for a bit and did look pretty handsome as a younger him, but looks can be deceiving. It was not until Battaglia's marriage life that you could see the signs that he did not treat his spouses so well. Although marriage dates are not listed, Battaglia's first marriage was to Michelle Getty, and they both had one daughter by the name of Christy. During this marriage, there were numerous domestic violence incidents, and I'm just going to list a few. So one incident, Battaglia was arrested on the grounds of harassment, and clearly Michelle Getty did not want him around. On another occasion, he assaulted Getty outside of their daughter's school. On another occasion, he assaulted her, causing a nasal fracture. And one of the last incidents was reported in 1977, and Battaglia assaulted Getty at a bus stop, all because he was angry at an arrest request. This assault put her in the hospital, and Battaglia pled guilty to this misdemeanor charge. Crazily, he did not serve any time in jail and was only put on 2 years probation. John Battaglia remarried to a woman named Mary Jean Pearl on August 6, 1991. I understand that you have to put faith in your partner, but it sucks that it doesn't come with a warning label if somebody has a past and history with domestic violence. In this marriage, they both had 2 daughters together. Mary Faith was born in 1992, and Liberty May was born in 1995. Unfortunately, Battaglia was not a changed man, nor did being on probation rehabilitate him, because in January 1999, Mary Pearl left Battaglia after continuous verbal reports, and he was not allowed to live with her and the girls. Later that year on Christmas, Battaglia had visitation and was set to see his daughters Faith and Liberty. He had other premeditated intentions that day and ended up attacking Mary Pearl. For this assault, he again pled guilty and yet again avoided prison time and was given another measly 2 years on probation. After this incident, Pearl immediately filed for divorce, and it was finalized in August 2000. Later, Pearl was trying to have Battaglia in violation of his probation and get locked up due to the constant harassment, history of domestic violence, and use of weed, which was in violation of his probation terms. Despite her numerous attempts, no one listened, and he was still able to have regular contact with his 2 daughters. Now, me personally, I've witnessed firsthand how family court goes and have seen numerous women have proof of domestic violence from their children's father, and the judge still granting visitation. There's even a case you can look up on Google where a woman was raped, the man was convicted and sent to prison, he filed for visitation, and his rape victim had to bring their daughter to prison. I think the system can be very screwed up when there's clear evidence and there's no justice unless someone dies. Battaglia came across as a loving father And Pearl also stated that she thought her daughters would never get hurt because he would only make negative comments about his ex-wives and always have positive things to say about his daughters. On May 2nd, 2001, Battaglia had visitation with his daughters and was supposed to take them out for dinner. Instead, he brought the girls to his apartment in Dallas, Texas, and called his ex, Mary Pearl. While on the phone, he had his 9-year-old daughter, Faith, ask her mom, "Why do you want Daddy to go to jail?" After asking her mom, she was heard on the phone crying, "No, Daddy, please don't do it," and was fatally shot 3 times. 6-year-old Liberty was then shot 5 times. Battaglia got on the phone and told Pearl, "Merry effing Christmas." Mary Pearl hung up the phone and then called 911. On John's side, he called his daughter's room phone and left a message for them. The message said, "Hi girls, I just want to tell you how very, very brave you were, and I hope you are resting in a better place now. I wish that you had nothing to do with your mother. She's evil and vicious and stupid." I wonder what that makes him. After killing his girls, Battaglia went to a tattoo shop and got 2 roses tatted on his arm to represent his 2 daughters. Police later caught up with him, and he got into a fist fight with the arresting officer, resulting in a black eye. Police officers then went to his home and found over 15 firearms. Battaglia's only reason for killing his daughters was because he was upset with his ex for reporting him to his probation officer. I'm really confused how he could be on probation and be in possession of 15 firearms. I'm also confused how you can kill 2 innocent children and manage to get into a fist fight with a police officer without even being shot. Was the police officer not in fear of his life? Did he just look jolly and innocent? Battaglia's murder trial began on April 2nd, 2002, and it took jurors around 20 minutes to find him guilty. His lawyers tried to fight for him not to get the death penalty because he was bipolar, but that did not stop him from being sentenced to death. After receiving his sentence, his ex-wife went on record in court telling him, "Burn in hell forever. You are one of the most heinous murderers of modern times. I would like to say the next time you see me is when they put the needle in your arm, but I'm not going to waste the time to be there." Pearl changed her mind and eventually came to witness his death 16 years later. There were appeals, but judges ultimately dismissed Battaglia's claims of mental incompetence. There's a video here on YouTube where you can see an interview while he's in prison, and he goes on record saying Pearl was suicidal and screwed up his life, as well as all 3 of his daughters, including Christy from his first marriage, although Christy was in favor of his execution. Battaglia stated Mary just turned on him, and everything was a setup because he did not even want to pick up his daughters that day and felt he was going to get busted for something, and he didn't feel as if he killed his daughters. Seems pretty narcissistic to me, putting the blame on everyone else but himself. On the day of his execution, February 1st, 2018, Battaglia was not able to order any lavish last meal and had what the prison offered all inmates that day, which was chicken patties and potatoes. Although there were some people who protested outside of the prison that it was inhumane to execute people with mental disabilities, there was no one in the witness room that was on the side of the convict support side. As people were filling the witness room, Dallas News reports that he looked around and asked how many people there were and said, "Oh, that's a lot." After spotting his ex, Mary Pearl, he said, "Well, hi, Mary Jean. I'll see y'all later. Bye. Go ahead, please." He then closed his eyes as the lethal injection was being administered and opened his eyes a few minutes later, looking at the chaplain's feet, smiling and asking him if he was still alive. Battaglia smiled again and then sighed, saying, "Oh, here, I feel it." It took him 22 minutes to be pronounced dead by method of lethal injection at 9:40 p.m. Mary Pearl then walked away from the glass window and was quoted saying, "I've seen enough of him." I have no idea the pain Mary Pearl had to endure, and I wonder how she felt seeing the murder of her children die in front of her eyes. I wonder if there were any sense of closure for her knowing he wasn't around to hurt anyone else. On the other side, while he was being strapped in, he kept smiling and seemed happy. He showed absolutely no remorse, and that must be extremely painful to see. Thank you again, guys, for listening and watching the third episode of Death Row Executions on John David Battaglia Jr. Please comment below and let me know what you think of this story. I will be responding to any comments. I appreciate you guys, and excuse any errors in the audio, and hopefully I'll be able to get better as the videos continue. So just be patient with me. Thanks again. Bye-bye.